Hey, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you are here for this one. This is my second psychic medium reading for missing 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers from Hendersonville, Tennessee. My first reading will be linked above in an iCard, and it'll be in the description box, and I'll even pin the link in a comment. You'll definitely want to watch that one first, because I feel Spirit tells me things in order for specific reasons. During this reading, I used mainly my intuition and just listened. Spirit shared a lot, so much so that I almost ran out of room on my notes page. At the end of my reading, I did use my DIY crime card set for some extra information, and I know you guys love my cards as much as I do. I even had a special energy come through during this reading. I got a message from missing 5-year-old Summer Wells, or her guides, angels, or ancestors. And it's such a sweet message too. So get comfy, grab a drink and a snack, and get ready for this one. Make sure that you're subscribed and ring-a-ding my bell, because I've already done 3 more readings after this one, but I'm making the videos for each one in the order that I did the readings. Because like I said, Spirit gives me the information in the order that they do on purpose. So smooch the thumbs up, and I'm going to play this quick message before we begin the reading. Let's do this. When I do a spirit box session, I can do a session for people who are living or deceased. So when I do a spirit box session, or anybody else does a spirit box session, we are not insinuating that the person that we are asking about is deceased. We are reaching out to our angels, our spirit guides, our ancestors. Everybody has those attached to them, whether you are alive or you are deceased. We can also communicate with Spirit about people who are living. I could do a current reading for somebody right now and ask their guides questions that they have about a current situation in their life. Just because we do a spirit box session about a missing person or a missing child, we are not insinuating that that person or child is deceased. I know that there's been a lot of misinformation spread about spirit box sessions by people who are ignorant when it comes to spirit box sessions. So I just wanted to clear that up, or clarify for anybody who may not fully understand how or why we do a session. So hopefully that will help. Okay, if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in my comment section, and if I can answer them, I will. Also, lastly, before we do this, anything that you learn in any of my videos that I specify I am learning from Spirit, or during a reading or during a session, any of that information is not factual information. It is not factual information. I will be very specific when I am sharing factual information, and 99.9% of the time, I will show you proof of that factual information that I'm sharing with you. Now, any of the information that I get during my readings or my sessions, that is information from Spirit. That is intuition. That is not factual information. So I do not want anybody to contact law enforcement about anything that you hear during a reading or a spirit box session. Please do not contact law enforcement with any of that information. First of all, if the reader feels strongly enough about the information that they received that they want to contact law enforcement with it, they would have already done that themselves before they put the information on YouTube, hopefully. I know I do. I've called law enforcement twice, 2 times in the last 3 years, because they blow us off, because it's intuition. It is not factual information. So I just wanted to clarify that before I show you any of this information. Okay. Here we go. I am going to run through what I heard in the best order that I can. As I said earlier, I heard so much. I almost ran out of room on this page. I try to keep everything on one side of the paper. I've done readings long enough that I needed to use the back side also, and I was so exhausted after. So that's the main reason I try to end my reading when the front side is full. All right, the very first words I heard during this reading were, "Mom freaked out." Those were the very first words that I heard. Then I heard fairy tale stories, followed by lies, plot. He helped to control situation, and mom. And I think that's in regards to when Sebastian was reported missing. Mom knows stuff that would hurt. Then I heard legal stuff, and I knew that that meant with Chris. I believe that means that mom knows things that she could hurt in the custody fight that stepdad is in right now. In my opinion, allegedly, this is all intuition, not facts. Then I heard panic, wild, violent, loud. Mom was frantic, but not for the reason she claimed. And then I heard Sebastian always blamed. Negative attention, energy. Meaning, if they were unhappy, mad, tired, frustrated, it was all Sebastian's fault. He stressed him out. Scolded was another word I heard. That caused Sebastian to act out more. Meaning, he wanted attention. Negative attention equals negative energy. Then we go back up here to the top, and I heard bullied in home, made fun of, laughed at, can't do anything right, hated him home. Always negative. Whole energy shift. I took that as hated him home, whole energy shift. I took that as soon as stepdad got home, the whole energy in the house just completely changed. And I heard buried. And right after I heard buried, I heard under secrets. So I don't know if those three words were supposed to go together or if buried was by itself and then under secrets was added along with that, but that's what I heard. Buried, under secrets. Liked being alone. Room, toys, dogs. I heard those four things quickly together. And then I heard action, activity, unfair, accomplice, myself, hushed, forced, berated, and hostile. And berated and hostile, those aren't two words that I use very often. So I knew that those were a strong message, and I don't like the message. So now we're going to move down to what I know. Now, these are things that I didn't hear during my session, during my reading, but they're things that I just knew somehow. Like, they just made sense in my head, so I wrote them down on the paper. So along with the first words that I heard, Mom freaked out, I also just knew Mom freaked out and something bad happened, and she called her husband immediately for help. Now, at first, he didn't want to help her the way that she was asking for help. He changed her way some, but still basically used her plan. But he made it feel like it was his idea and his plan, not hers, because he's controlling. Then I knew that they were very worried about what people think about them. Both of them. They are more worried about what is being said on social media than I feel they are worried about searching for Sebastian. In my opinion, allegedly, this is all intuition, not factual information. I also know that they are happy that Sebastian did not have friends because they would fear what he would say about them to their friends. And Sebastian is already scared to share with teachers due to Mr. Chris bullying him and mocking him and making him feel helpless and like a liar when he was honest when he went to school and told the teachers about Mr. Chris. Now, this is my opinion from everything that Mr. Chris told us, along with what I have learned from Spirit. And you can see all of that in this recent video that I uploaded. That situation made me very, very frustrated. Sebastian knew what Chris was doing was wrong. That's why he said something to his teachers. And then for CPS to come out and pat Mr. Chris on the back and be like, it's okay, Sebastian, you shouldn't have said this stuff. You can get in big trouble for this, mister. That was bullshit. If it happened the way that Mr. Chris described it happening, that was bullshit. That's not what CPS is for. Made Sebastian feel alone even more. He thought about running away, but fear kept him home. And experience with CPS. He just wanted to be happy. Playing with his dogs and his toys made him happy. Now, one thing as I was reviewing these notes to make this video, I also got right here at the end, outside of the house. He wanted to be out of the house. He enjoyed being outside. He enjoyed playing at the playground. And I think that Mom said something along those lines, but I feel like this was just validation of that for me. He enjoyed being with his daddy. As long as he wasn't in trouble, he loved being with Seth. Sebastian loves his daddy so very much. Sebastian sees Seth as almighty and can do anything he sets his mind to. Seth is truly Sebastian's hero. I was shown this image during this reading of Sebastian on a swing set, and he was swinging so very high and looked so very happy. Now we're going to move down to the cards that I pulled for this reading. Whew! Brace yourself. All right, so I'm going to start by reading off each card, and then I'm going to go through and break it down for you. So we have number 1, history of abuse. Number 2, son. Number 3, Tower. Number 4, Queen. Number 5, Stairs. Number 6, Authority. Number 7, Power. Number 8, Wooded Area. Number 9, Transferred. Number 10, Less than 2 weeks. Number 11, Crossroads. 12, Building. 13, Toys. 14, Alone. 15, Plan. 16, Partner. 17, Runaway. 18, Shopping. And number 19 is stop. So this is my interpretation of what these cards are telling me. This is all intuition, not factual information. There is a history of abuse in this case regarding Sebastian, the son. Now, tower can mean a cell tower, a water tower, an oil tower, any type of landmark, watchtower, church tower, any type of structure that is taller than it is wide. Even houses have towers. They're called turrets. Turret? It's on the second floor, but not on the main floor. So basically, I feel like this tower card is telling me upstairs. The Proudfoot home is a ranch-style home with a bonus room above the garage. So it's 1.5 stories, basically, I think is how it's worded. So I feel like this tower card is telling me upstairs. Look upstairs. Then we have Queen and Stairs, right? So Queen is mom. Queen is always the main female in the case, in the situation, in the story. So mom is the queen here. Did mom... okay, mom, stairs, up to the bonus room in the house. Power means control. Authority means control and power. So those two cards I feel are very interchangeable. They're definitely saying some type of power and control and authority. So what happened on the stairs? Did Sebastian go up the stairs to the tower, the second floor? Did mom, the queen, send him up using her authority and power as a form of punishment? Or did Sebastian run up the stairs to get away from mom? What is upstairs in that bonus room? What do the Proudfoots use that room for now? The realtor pics show that it was an office by the previous owners. I absolutely believe, alive or not, Sebastian Rogers is in or near, very close to a wooded area. I believe he was transferred to that spot or area. Now, number 10, less than 2 weeks. I'm not exactly for sure what that means because it's followed by Crossroads, and I'm not for sure if Crossroads is a location or a situation in this reading. So I'm going to leave those two cards right where they are. Then we have the building, the toys, alone, plan, partner, runaway, shopping. Is Sebastian in a building alone with his toys? Or was that supposed to be the plan? Did the partners plan this runaway story to happen after they went shopping? That's what I'm feeling right now from this set of cards. When I get the stop card during a reading, I stop. The stop card was number 19. But I felt like I needed to check my cards once more before I put them away, so I pulled another set of cards before I ended this reading. The second set of cards, I got number 1, light. Number 2, garage. Number 3, CPS. Number 4, 5 to 10 miles. Number 5, snake. Number 6, bully. Number 7, danger. Number 8, parking lot. So number 1 and 2, obviously, the light in the garage. What does that mean? The light in the garage. Can the light in the garage be seen from outside of the home? Is there a window in the garage where we can see the light if the light is on or off? Does that show up in the neighbor's security cameras that they have shared? I know that I heard rumor of the neighbors being able to see Sebastian's bedroom light turn on or off, but I don't remember which, and I haven't seen it for myself. If you know where I can go see that information, please let me know in your comment. But the light in the garage has something to do with this case. And there's something, Spirit is telling us that it's something. Okay, CPS has been involved in Sebastian's life multiple times. This situation happened in the very early hours of February 26th, 2024. Remember earlier we heard, quote, "Mom freaked out," as Spirit told me, and she called her partner for help. He helped make this plan to make this look like a runaway situation since they've already had CPS involved, and this would send people to prison. But his main incentive, I guess, for helping Mom was not wanting to lose his custody case with Nina. And it's not about he wants his daughter that bad. It's not that. It's he doesn't want to lose. Chris isn't a loser in his eyes. He doesn't want to lose anything. If something happens, he wants it to be in his control. He is all about control. So brushing this situation away would be less life-changing for the players involved from their point of view. They get their freedom now. No worries about Sebastian telling anyone on them again, including Seth. Also, they wanted Sebastian gone anyway. But then there's that concern of Sebastian being honest with Seth and telling him what was actually happening in that house. And they didn't want that anyway. So this was a perfect win-win for them. In my opinion, allegedly, from my intuition, not factual information. Remember earlier when I said, Spirit said, everything was Sebastian's fault in their eyes. If they were upset, sad, frustrated, mad, any monetary issues, that it all went back on Sebastian's shoulders. And I believe that there were fights in the marriage that were about Sebastian. Sebastian is 5 to 10 miles away from his home. I absolutely believe that. This card keeps coming up. I could be interpreting this entire reading completely wrong on everything, except for I absolutely believe the 5 to 10 mile card means Sebastian is within 5 to 10 miles of his home. I believe it deep down in my soul. I believe stepdad is a snake, but so is Mom. They're two peas in a pod. They're both a bully to Sebastian, not just Mr. Chris. Sebastian knew that he was in danger when they were still out and about in a parking lot, and it went downhill from there. In my opinion, allegedly, from my intuition, not factual information. Okay, now while I was doing this reading, I always jot down what I feel. If I feel anything on my body, around my body, up against my body, I always write that information down. So during this reading, I felt pain on the left side of my neck. I also felt this crazy urge to urinate. And I always go to the bathroom before I start my readings because I know my bladder. So I knew I didn't have to urinate, but I felt like I did. So I wanted to write that down. And then lastly, I told you at the beginning of this video that we had a very special energy guest during this reading from Summer Wells, the missing 5-year-old child from Rogersville, Tennessee, who is still missing. We're almost up to the 3rd year anniversary. She has been missing way far too long. Now, Rogersville is not so far away from Hendersonville. So Summer and Sebastian are both missing from Tennessee. Summer visited during this reading, and I feel like Summer was here helping and waiting, and she knows that she'll be found by accident. So she's just waiting and loving this, her being able to help as she can. So I feel like she was here trying to help get all of the information to me, because I feel like I have spoken to either her guides, her angels, or her ancestors. This doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually Summer Wells. I just feel like either her or somebody very close around her that knows her very well, like her guides or her angels or her ancestors, have spoken to me many, many times over the last almost 3 years. And I feel like we have a bond, and she is able to open up, and I say she, but I mean it could be her guides or her ancestors or her angels. It's not specifically she, but I say she knows how to communicate with me. And I feel like she is helping with Sebastian's energy also. So his guides, his angels, his ancestors, because I'm not fully convinced that Sebastian is deceased. I do feel like he's gone because the energy is so strong, but I can't say for sure, and I would never say for fact until law enforcement tells us otherwise. So I hope that that clarifies that part a little bit, but I do feel like Summer's energy is with Sebastian's energy. That means the guides, the angels, and the ancestors. That's their energy. When I say energy, I'm including all of them. I love that she is around and helping. And so that's it. My gosh, that's a lot of information. What do you guys think about all of this? What do you think about what I heard in the very beginning? Do you think that mom freaked out? What do you think about buried? Was it just buried, or was it buried under secrets? Do you think that mom came up with a plan and stepdad changed the plan and then changed it around to sound like it was his plan to help save mom? All about control, right? It's all about control. And then what do you think about the tower card? What do you think about the wooded area card? I keep getting that every time. And keep in mind, I have over 150 different cards in my crime deck, and wooded area keeps coming out. And I have more videos coming, you guys. I'm so serious. I have at least 2 more videos, maybe 3 coming. I have done a special card layout. I've done a special reading, and then I did a special card reading to go with my special reading. So I'm not for sure if I'm going to make those last 2 separate videos. So make sure that you're subscribed. I've noticed in my back office, it's telling me a lot of you guys are not subscribed. You will not be notified if you do not subscribe, and ring my bell, set the notification to all, so YouTube will notify you when I upload this next video. You won't want to miss it, I promise. I'm not sure if I'm going to make the last 2 readings separate videos or if I'll be able to combine them into one. I know I want to keep the videos shorter for you guys so that I'm not taking up too much of your precious time. I appreciate you being here so very much. May you have the kind of day that karma feels you've earned. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and until next time, I love you bunches.